Greetings and welcome to Jefficho Films. Today we're going to be discussing episode 12, the season finale of the Orville. Written by Seth MacFarlane and directed by Brandon Braga, this episode starts out with Ed looking to have a drink after work with one of his friends. Now Gordon's already in his pajamas and Lamar seems a bit preoccupied. Ed ends up joining Borders and Clyde, who are just about to sit down and have a strange mucklin drink that looks like a really thick chocolate milk. And then they play this amazing game.
So, what, does this just go on until somebody... Let's go!
This leads to Ed and Kelly reconnecting throughout the episode. They actually mentioned Durelio and how he might have been in heat and which could have caused Kelly to cheat on him, so really it wasn't her fault. Well, she had a long list of reasons. I think that's a bit of a cop-out. She's going on about how Ed was never there for her. Some typical on-board relationship tropes happen when Ed has to cover for Kelly because she accidentally exposed herself to a planet's inhabitants.
See? All better. Oh crap. I feel better, honey. Time for me to go.
Now that planet believes she's a god, but the added twist is the planet disappears and then reappears 11 days later, but having aged 700 years because time is passing faster. We get to see Kelly Hugh again as Admiral Ozawa. I really like the use of the Admirals in this. There's a little rotation, you get to see a different one each episode. And she gives Ed a little tongue lash in there. He gets a reprimand on his record. It's not like the guy didn't go on a dangerous mission for you and come back with a Krill spaceship. You know, if there's ever a war against the Krill, I think Ed's kind of deciding factor of why you're not going to lose it. Because you now have their technology, you got their book because he succeeded in the mission that was pretty much deemed a suicide mission. But yeah, go ahead and guilt trip the guy. It's not like they ended up listening to her anyway, so they went right back down to the planet and tried to fix things. But it didn't work. It wasn't until they sent Isaac down there because he was going to be stuck down there for 700 years, but he's the only one that's not going to age. When the planet comes out of its cloak, I totally thought that Isaac just built his own empire here. It looked very Borg-like, I guess is the only comparison, except it's probably a little more advanced than the little dark hues of the Borg that you see. Very colorful green. I was wrong though, Isaac didn't really interfere, they just became a super advanced society of human beings. And they told Kelly that if it wasn't her, society would have just found someone else to have a religious belief in. Which was a nice little message. It wasn't one of those ones they beat you over the head in, it was just smartly put in there.
Whoa, easy. We're moving into uncharted space tomorrow. You don't want to be hungover.
Call it a celebratory drink.
All right, screw it. Let's do this.
Much like Lieutenant Darren and Picard, onboard relationships just don't work, and Ed and Kelly come to that same conclusion. They're putting the ship in jeopardy, and they can't really do it if they're not on the same ship. Long distance relationships, man. This was a solid episode, more touching on sci-fi things we've seen in other shows rather than breaking new ground. I could have gone for a little more technobabble about the planet's cloak and how it's coming out of it. I was almost expecting a Krill episode with a giant cliffhanger, but either way it ended pretty well. I'm pretty pleased with the season and looking forward to season 2. In January I'm getting an encyclopedia for the Orville, so I won't have to constantly keep referencing Star Trek, thinking like that's the only way to explain some of this universe. Also, shop.fox.com has some Orville merch along with Redbubble if any of you are looking. It's where I got the sweet hoodie I had last episode. As for the Orville, we've got a long wait, so I might just get the rest of the crew together and do a review of season 1, and then maybe do some small reviews once I get the book. And as always, thanks for watching.